the Roundtable. We got fifth quarter Cowboys, my Cowboys family, Dallas Cowboy fan 1980, the host. The show tonight. I am the host of the show, Dallas Cowboy Football News. Everybody, we had a fantastic roundtable last Saturday. If you missed it, DJ and I, fifth quarter Cowboys, we went at it. We talked about Tank Lawrence, and people fact-checked me on Aaron Donald. He had more sacks, 31 and a half. I don't know how to do math, but the other numbers that I said were right. I just messed up on Aaron Donald's.
No,
Tank Lawrence, 25, Aaron Donald, 31 and a half. I stand corrected, but it's okay. The show must go on. 1980, thank you for hosting it. Thank you, everybody, for coming in and giving us a piece of your Saturday, guys. We are going to start this show off with a little bit of news that broke today. 1980, I believe this might have something to do with you. Did you know Jason Witten was bald? I think you have more hair than Jason Witten, Dallas Cowboy fan 1980. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
You know what? I knew he was going bald, but I didn't know he was bald like me.
What about you, fifth quarter Cowboys? Jason Witten with all that baldness. What you got?
He's an old piece of shit.
Why would you call a grown man a piece of crap?
You asked me my opinion, man. Let me tell my opinion, man.
Don't insult the man. Damn.
Okay, I want to insult him. He's a bad need son of a bitch. All right, God damn it. No, I didn't know. I knew he got new hair when he went and started doing the booth thing, but I didn't know he was gonna come back like this. I mean, why the hell not? You're not on TV no more with a suit on. You're back on the field. You're back out there putting in that work, putting in that grind, and it was pretty thin when he was with the team last. So you might as well just whack it all off, man. Cause as soon as mine get thin, I'm cutting it all off. I don't give a damn. So, but nonetheless, it's Jason Witten, bald head. It don't take away from his gameplay and what he might bring to this team. I said might bring to this team, and it's not a big deal. It's funny, but it's not a big deal.
And the man that has more hair than Jason Witten on his beard alone, my Cowboys family, Jason Witten.
What's up, man? Yeah, good.
Ooh,
I'll start with the ladies first.
I mean, again, it is a little weird because honestly, you kind of notice the bald spot beforehand. Exactly. Like, it's taking me all, like, I can feel it on the back of my head, like the spot where the helmet kept rubbing on his hair, just rubbed all the hair out. And, like, I didn't really notice it until he went on TV and you saw how much fuller it was. But for him to go from, like, kind of, like, thinning, balding to, like, full head of hair to, like, it's a lot, But like you guys said, it shows that he's obviously, like, his mind is not on looking pretty for TV anymore. Like, he doesn't give a crap. Like, just get that hair off, get my helmet on, get me in there. Like, obviously we can't speak to his play on the field yet. But obviously his head looks like it's in the right place.
Blast from the past, cha-cha-cha-chia. No, that was during his time on the on ESPN. Now he's a new chia pet, freshly seeds planted. I don't know. The point is that he looks weird, but in the end, I don't give a damn. You know why? Because I want to see Witten do what I think he can do. Like DJ said, what we think he can do.
95% of the time, we just want to see his face through the helmet.
Yeah, that's all that matters. Just make your quarterback, help him out in those situations when. Should
I take this personal? I was in denial about my hair. I was using crayons, all kind of shit to keep my hair. I mean, it's gone now. Like, it ain't no coming back. So.
It's a little different than 1980 because you didn't, you didn't go from like. You didn't have your hair like grown out, and the next day, like that's it. Like Witten, like he had a full head of hair on TV.
Again, I think that the whole thing is that I think he is our fourth or fifth option.
We're hoping he is the point.
Whether it's him or Blake Jarwin, and so in football talk, not hair talk, football talk, I think that Witten, I'm hoping he's going to be able to provide enough, veteran kind of confidence for Dak. Even if he's not going to be doing what he used to do, if he gets only, 40 catches.
He's just going to give Dak, like, the peace of mind at that position so he doesn't feel it.
So Dak always knows that he's got him there. And he'll be able to find the open spots like Randall, Cobb. Both those guys are going to be able to read defenses and know one side will be Witten, the other side will be Cobb. I mean, you'll see sometimes, I think those options open up for Dak, and that's the only kind of hair I'd give a shit about when it comes to Jason Witt. And again, not that he's going to be anything close to what he was. His decline is, way down. But he might still be able to give us enough with his football IQ and his veteran, knowledge to be able to do enough to open things up for Dak. That's what it's about, opening up for Dak in this offense. And, of course, Kellen Moore and et cetera.
I know. I just hope he doesn't become, the security blanket, the training wheels back on Dak. That's all. So.
All right. Now, we just wanted to start the show off with a little something, a little humor, a little balding, Jason Witten. But news broke this past couple of days, fifth quarter Cowboys, that Byron Jones has gotten hip surgery. As we all know, Byron Jones started the season strong under Chris Richard. And then towards the end of the season, he kind of fell off. Does Byron Jones still have a place on this football team, and how does this hip surgery affect him? He should be ready for training camp, but if he isn't, how does this affect him and the other corners we got on this team?
You brought something to my attention one night when we was playing Madden, one night when I was whooping your ass. You said Byron Jones made the Pro Bowl without an interception. I thought about it. I was like, damn, you're right, he did. Hips are everything when it comes to cornerbacks, man. You got to know how to open your hips up to be able to make the proper turn. You got to know how to, Byron Jones, he got the nickname Byron Jump Jones. I mean, all that matters, man. And I feel like he was already limited when it came to certain things on the field. Athleticism ain't it sometimes. You can be athletic as hell, but your talent is trash. You know what I'm saying? And Byron Jones, I'm not saying he can't fully recover, but he better hope that doesn't, hinder his limited ability that he already has, because he can run with a guy, but he can't get no turnovers. You know what I'm saying? And I just think this is another blow to him, possibly getting that big contract that he won from the Dallas Cowboys. I just don't see it happening. Like I said, he could probably be back by training camp, but if Byron Jones doesn't improve this year, he's out of here, man. He's out of here regardless. The Cowboys take into account anytime somebody has an injury, and like we talked about, his production dropped once he found out he made the Pro Bowl anyway. Coincidence or whatever, he actually just went up against, Byron Jones cost us a couple of touchdowns, man. And the last thing he needs is an injury at this time of year when he didn't have he didn't pretty much do nothing last year, but covered pretty decent until quarterbacks figured out that they can still throw that way, and Byron Jones won't be able to do nothing about it. And once they figured out that, they had a field day with him, and I don't think it'll hinder him too much, but I think the Cowboys has a magnifying glass on him, and it'll be real easy to contribute his lack of production to the hip thing, because 1980 he's probably an expert in this area with the cornerback, but I don't know much about it, but I know goddamn well that the cornerback their hips is everything, so I don't know what to say, man. We're just gonna have to see this year, we just have to see.
And the cornerback himself, Dallas Cowboy fan, 1980, Byron Jones, if he's not ready by training camp, how does this affect him, and what does it do for the other corners on our team?
Your hips are your foundational tool as far as cornerback is concerned, because you're doing a lot of turning and rotating with them. Planting, you need your hips. Hips are your foundation. That's what you need to plant, things like that. Break on the ball, all those things. Byron Jones is a great athlete. Has taken care of himself and his body throughout his career. I think he'll be ready come training camp. But if not, it'll be a blow. Byron Jones is arguably one of the best cornerbacks in the league, if not the best. Without, like you guys say, without an interception, made it to the Pro Bowl. If he can come back healthy, that'll really help our young secondary. Especially, we don't know who safety's going to be. But with Byron Jones being in there, man, it'll really help. So hopefully he'll be back strong. If not, it's just next man has to step up. It'll probably be Anthony Brown or somebody like that. Byron Jones is one of those cornerbacks where he's always there in the mix. He's going to need – I'm glad he got that surgery because of the simple fact of him caring about his body, him caring about making everything okay for himself to play the game at a high level, regardless of the money and situation and things like that. He knows he needs to take care of himself and get himself ready for the upcoming season for the team, not just him, for the team. He's not using it as a alibi or anything like that. So that's a good thing. That's a plus. That's the positive side of it. Hopefully there won't be a negative side where he won't be back in time and things like that. I think he'll be fine. I think it was a light surgery. I don't think it was anything major, like a replacement or anything like that. So I think he'll be okay. I think he'll be ready in time. Byron Jones, the last thing I'm gonna say, I want him to be to turn into, now he's kind of in that shut down corner list. I guess you could say that kind of. I want him to gradually step over to the other side, the playmaker list. That's where he needs to be. If you're there to bat down the ball, same thing with Cheeto. If you're there to bat down the ball, if you're there to make a play on the ball, go ahead and put, instead of one hand up, go ahead and put two up. Get an interception. That's what this defense, this secondary needs, is turnovers. Chris Richard is trying to push turnovers with these guys. It's easy to make tackles. It's easy to hit somebody and damn near hurt yourself like Jeff Heath. It's easy to break up, pass deflections and things like that. But you got to turn that into a playmaker and keep that offense on the field, keep that defense fresh.
My Cowboys family, Byron Jones, what you got?
Hey, Byron Jones, man. Again, to me, with the surgery, I think it is a cleanup. That's like you guys alluded to. You guys all made great points about what he needs to get better on, creating turnovers and that sort of thing. I do think, though, that and don't kill me for this, I think Byron Jones is considered, I would consider him a lockdown. And I know that they kind of figured him out a little bit, but I know the turnovers are still on his head. But his first year at this position in this kind of defense, his first year, I think you're going to see a better Byron Jones this year. And I also think that, he's cleaning himself up now. He's cleaning up this injury now, unlike who? Unlike Tank, who we know it's a different situation, but it is a situation nonetheless. You see a guy like Byron Jones, he's a team player. He defended the star, remember 31 against Tennessee Titans in Monday Night Football with bald-headed Witten? Yeah, who was the only guy that really was out there knocking heads? That was Byron Jones, a true Cowboy, and again, I respect George Teague back when he did that with T.O. I respect it. I respect what he'll always be a guy in my book forever, Byron Jones. So, yeah, again, that's just my personal thing. But in the end, listen, this guy is looking to play. He's looking to get on that field. He's going to be ready for training camp. And
Yes, DCFN.
Yeah. And so, in my opinion, I do think that this is a great move by him to do this now. In this situation, they were hoping that he wouldn't need this, and they kind of waited to this last moment. They know he'd miss, the offseason stuff, but he'd be back for a training camp or sometime in training camp, cleaning this thing up here, which I think is a good sign for him and his future with the Cowboys. Even you might see $13, $14, $15 million for him. We talked about it on my Cowboys family, like the salary cap kind of breakdown for this year and next. How I think we could fit all six guys, including Byron Jones, Jalen Smith, and of course, Zeke, Dak, and Coop, and Tank on our team. Even overpricing them, even overvaluing them, we still can keep our own and a core group of guys on this team, like our offensive line and some backups as well. So, anyways, look, Byron Jones, I think is we'll see what he's going to do this year. It's gonna be an interesting year, but I think this hip surgery is a good thing that he's doing this now. It's not, and I agree with you guys. You guys made great points. Not really affecting him when it comes to the movement that he's going to do. Getting this done early enough, I think, is a great sign. And Cheeto and all these guys, they got to work on things. But one thing I will say, I noticed when Cheeto was playing on only one side and Byron Jones was playing only on the other side, left side, right side, they stayed in that side until that Falcons game, when Julio Jones was moved over to Cheeto's side, and then they tore him apart. But when Cheeto went up against a second receiver, right, not an elite number one, Cheeto did pretty good. He didn't get the turnovers. Still needs to turn his head, has some fundamental things. But when Rashard wasn't so star, but he moved the next week, he moved them and started saying, Byron Jones, you're going to stay on number one a lot of the times or on critical downs. And that did make a difference. Byron Jones was key to this. So, again, we can say all about the turnovers. I'm still on team Byron Jones. I think he's going to be better this year. And, again, we need more turnovers. We need him to, the whole defense to get better in that kind of way. But, when it comes to turnovers and pass defensive backs and coverage. But I love love that he's got a player repping this. That's what Byron Jones does, baby. I don't know. I took up all your time. I know, baby.
She has plenty of time. Go ahead, Miss Fiance.
Okay.
I just rattled.
It's all right, guys. I actually do want to talk a little bit about the draft, just because I think Byron Jones plays into that. There's been a few people, specifically Cowboys abroad, has said a few times, like, he wants to draft a Byron Jones replacement now, because he kind of suspects that the Cowboys are already going to move on from him. I'm definitely a little bit more with DJ on this, not going to lie, and not because of anything that Byron Jones is necessarily doing wrong, but mainly just because of what you said. Like, he's going to demand a price that is just not necessarily worth where the Cowboys are going to value him at and where he values himself at. And again, I'm not going to sit here and speak too much for that, because he's definitely a lockdown corner. I'm not going to take that away from him. And the way that he is and the way he plays, he's never going to be the guy who gets a bunch of interceptions, but he is going to be the guy who's not really going to get a lot of passes caught on him. He's,
right.
You know what I mean? True. So it's kind of a bit of a trade-off in a weird way. And we can't put interceptions all on one guy either, but you kind of do expect your top corner to be like kind of, one of your playmakers to at least get some interceptions. The fact that he has 0 is a little bit, frustrating, not going to lie. But at the end of the day, Byron Jones is doing a fantastic job, and he's just going to ask for way too much money. And the Cowboys are going to do what they always do, which is go to the draft, find a guy. But again, Byron Jones was a first-round 2015 pick. So, if they're looking for a replacement for him, I don't think they're going to do it this year.
You help your defensive backs, Robert, along with Tank, Robert Quinn. I'm just saying.
Yeah, so I mean, and that kind of, I guess, rolls us over to the next topic. DCFN, you want to take it away?
Yeah.
Can I say something about Byron Jones just real quick?
Yeah, go absolutely.
I'm sorry. I don't think Byron Jones is that type of guy. I really don't, to ask for a whole bunch of money. I think Byron Jones, he's an intelligent player. He's an intelligent athlete. He knows his role. And I think obviously he wants to. What football player doesn't want to get paid? He wants to get paid, but I don't think he's going to go overboard with it. I think he's a team guy. You get what I'm saying? I think he's on that category of being a team guy. He's not going to go all out and like D-Law is doing. That's just my opinion. I don't think we have to worry about him on that aspect. Him trying to hold out and using injuries and stuff as collateral or anything like that. I can't see that happening with him.
I'm with you, man. I'm with you.
No, and on that, I agree 110% on that. I don't see him doing that, but at the same time, let's be real. Have we really seen any players right now? Any players with those skills, B-team players? I mean, at the end of the day, these guys, like you said, I will say he won't use any kind of injury negotiation. I think
obviously,
he values himself. But that's the point, because he values himself. He knows
he can do it.
Exactly. He is worth more than whatever holdout bullshit contract he wants to try to do with the Cowboys or whatever. I'm just trying to say in that sense. So he knows he can get his money somewhere else if that's really what he is looking for. I do think Byron Jones does have a true love for the star. I do think he wants to stay here. But just like with Beasley, just like with all these other things or other players, sometimes, it comes to a point where, you just do move on. And I think Byron Jones is going to be one of those kind of crossroad moments for the Cowboys where they're going to look at Dak and they're going to look at Zeke and they're going to look at Cooper and they're going to look at everyone else and they're just going to say, sorry, Byron.
And I think we can afford him. We're not, I already said that. I think we can afford him even at $15 million if that was the case.
But anyway, I still think they're going to draft the Byron replacement next year with their first round.
This season's a big one for him to prove himself, honestly, again. Yeah.
Anyway.
All right. Yes, thank you. With Byron Jones, I think if they draft a corner high, I think that's the writing on the wall that they're not going to re-sign Byron Jones. Now, my question for you, moving on to this next thing, let's say they pull the tag away from DeMarcus Lawrence. They don't sign DeMarcus Lawrence. Obviously, it looks like the writing's on the wall that they're not going to sign Byron Jones. What message does that send to the other players who want to be Dallas Cowboys and play for the star for the rest of their career? If they're sitting back and watching this organization not signing players long-term via Tank Lawrence, via Byron Jones, hypothetically speaking, does this deteriorate the locker room and players wanting to play for the Cowboys? 1980, I'll go ahead and start with your wisdom first.
Say it again, bro. I'm so sorry.
I was saying, let's say the Cowboys hypothetically take the tag away from Tank Tank Lawrence and it makes him a free agent, and they don't sign Byron Jones. Now, the players coming up for contracts, looking at these two guys hypothetically leaving the Dallas Cowboys, does that cause concern for the locker room of wanting to play for an organization that might not, quote unquote, sign their own?
That's a good question. A good topic too. I won't go that far. I won't stretch it that far. It will cause concern for our defense, though, if we can't bring those two guys back, because obviously they're both playmakers. Some may can agree to disagree with D-Law, but that would be I think it would be. I'm going to go ahead and say it. I think it would be. Not to that stretch of the imagination, but I think it would cause just a little bit of friction in the locker room, especially on the football field. I mainly focus on the football field. That's a really good question. That's a really good topic. Both of those guys are two impactful players that need to be on this team. We just got to they got to meet halfway with this money situation. I can't stand this time of year. It sucks. The free agent period. It's the worst time of the season. It's just not a good thing because everybody wants to get paid. Everybody wants money. Everybody goes through these things. These players now, without even winning a championship, they already want to get paid. They already want a raise. They feel like they had one or two productive seasons. Hey, I need my money, so-and-so over there, he getting paid. My homeboy that played for so-and-so, he getting paid. Why am I, that's all it's about now. It's not really about hard work, determination, focus, trying to get that ring. What you're playing for. These scouts, these owners, front office people, they scout. They bringing you in to help bring a championship to your city. That's what they're doing. They're not bringing you on to just give you money for maybe 1 or 2 years of good gameplay. They're not doing that. They're bringing you aboard, just like you. If you were to be outside and pick teams, sandlot football or basketball or something, you're gonna pick the best guys. Like, hey man, come on. Hey, I need you, man. We trying to win. Y'all not out there just shooting the shit. You want to win the game. You want to win. And that's just the bottom line. And the NFL has changed so much that it's a phase now. It's almost a fashion, a crave that have one or two good years of good football, man, good stats, whatever position you play in. Hey, ask for more money, and that's just what it is. It's deterring the thinking, the thought process of the goal you're trying to reach as an NFL player. I want a ring. I want to retire that. Well, shit, at least I got one. Brett Favre, look at Dan Marino, one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. One of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. Statistical-wise, he doesn't have a ring. I mean, it's sad. That's what he wanted, John Elway finally got him one on his way out, two on his way out. And these youngsters, they're bringing a bad vibe to the NFL. I understand wanting to get you money. I'm not knocking that. But if you're winning, you can't play for the Buffalo Bills and say, hey man, shit, I'm getting my money, I'm getting my numbers. Where my money at? It's just I don't know, man. Maybe I'm digging too deep and getting too, political about it or whatever the right word to use, but it's just sad, man. But those two guys need to be, I'm not saying they need to be, everybody's replaceable, but it's just the fact of going back to the drawing board and developing again, getting somebody for that position. We all want D-Law to be a Cowboy, don't get us wrong, but we're not going to, even though we'll be okay financially for next season, but it's just the principle of the thing. You got to think about your other guys. We got to pay so many people. We got so many up and coming stars, and Dak and Zeke and Amari Cooper one deserves a raise from his impact that he brought in last season. Coming in. Byron Jones. Look at the defense. Van Der Esch, Jalen Smith. We got up and coming guys that are really, really working hard, really trying to make a difference on this team. And this is changing the trajectory of it. It is. That's just my opinion. That's just my 2 cents. Use it wisely.
Fifth quarter Cowboys. Hypothetical. Tank don't get signed. They pull the tag. Byron Jones don't get signed. Does this cause a concern for future players that are contracts are up for the Dallas Cowboy organization?
First of all, man, great damn question, dude. I think I don't think it caused concern for players that know when they don't exceed expectations. I think it'll cause friction with guys that say me, and guys that are all about themselves. Any guy that's only here to get paid and not win, and they supposed to get paid, but you get paid when you produce. Any guy, like take Cole Beasley for example. Cole Beasley knew that the Dallas Cowboys were going to check this out, right? When Tank got 14 and a half sacks, Cowboys gave him $17 million. When Beasley went out there and balled, the Cowboys paid him one time, you know. Last year Beasley production was low. Before we had to go get a true number one receiver because they just weren't cutting it. And so Beasley did not deserve to get paid. And what did he do? He left. Guys like that are just here for the money, even when the production ain't there, those are the ones that's gonna cause trouble. When you got true team players, you know, that know that there's a bigger picture, that know eventually their money will come once the team is put together, once they get them a championship, they know the pieces that they need, you know, to really represent the Dallas Cowboys, you know, those are the guys that you won't have an issue with, you know. In my opinion, when it really counted in the playoffs, Dak Prescott was more valuable than DeMarcus Lawrence, in my opinion. And if we was paying Dak right now, Dak Prescott, he would not be holding out this long. He would not. Dak Prescott would not hold off on the shoulder surgery. He would not use it as a bargaining tool. Neither will Ezekiel Elliott, because they know their body is their most important thing that gets them their money. They know their body is their job. You know, defensive ends, the way they use their hands, Tank need his shoulder surgery done. Should have been done a long time ago. So what I'm basically saying, the guys that it will only call conflict with is the guys that are only here to get their money, even when their production ain't there. Even the way the Cowboys work, if a guy get 2 sacks last year, then he get 3 sacks this year, he think he deserves $100 million. Just because you had 2 more sacks than average don't mean you know what I'm saying? It should be Super Bowl first, man. You know, then you get your money, you know. I don't think it'll cause any trouble out of guys that really love their team and really love their teammates, love the coaches, love playing for the Dallas Cowboys. I don't think it'll cause conflict with any of those type of guys. But those prima donnas, those selfish guys that's on Twitter, Instagram, yapping their damn mouth. Beasley did it. He dogged the Cowboys once he left. Tank wearing the shirts, I need my money now. You know, these guys are becoming divas and shit, man. You know, Dez Bryant, even when his production was down, they asked him would he take a pay cut. He was like, hell no, I won't take a pay cut. You know, those are the guys that you pretty much got to worry about having financial conflicts with. But guys that really want to win, guys that want to win Super Bowls, those guys won't complain. They'll eventually work it out sooner or later. Look at Zach Martin. Look how many years he's been saying, you know, I'm pretty sure me and the Cowboys will get a deal done. We'll get it done. We'll get it done. Why? Because he loved being beside his brother. He played beside his brother-in-law. He called his whole offensive line his brother. He loved the Dallas Cowboys, man, and they eventually got it done. We've been screaming pay Zach Martin, but he knew time. He knew other people was getting paid, you know, and he waited it out, man. And guys like that, you won't have a problem with those guys. Never will. But guys that want their money, that'll just go to – you can tell Bees don't want no money. He know there's no chance the Buffalo Bills will win a damn Super Bowl. He know there's no chance. But he doesn't care because he don't care about it. He care about his money. As soon as he got it, he dogged the Cowboys. So true Dallas Cowboy players, man, that love this team and want to win, you won't have a problem out of those guys. Just the guys like Beasley, the rappers.
My Cowboys family. Hypothetical. And we're quick. Let's do some commercial break here. You are watching Saturday's Roundtable with Fifth Quarter Cowboys. My Cowboys family, Dallas Cowboy Football News, Dallas Cowboy Fan 1980, the host of the channel. You got your host of the show right here, Dallas Cowboy Football News. Thank you for a piece of your Saturday. My Cowboys family, cause for concern if they pull the tag on Lawrence, don't sign him, and let's say they don't sign Byron Jones. Does this cause concern for other players in that locker room? Miss Fiance, I'll let you go first.
Thank you, kind host. So honestly, I don't think it's going to cause as much friction as we think, just because it's not like the reasons for the Cowboys not signing them are out of nowhere. You get what I mean? Obviously with Tank, I mean, we've discussed it here to death, all the reasons, why the Cowboys have been hesitant to sign him long-term, why it took this long to get to this point, why they're still going back and forth, all that stuff. So there's reasons for that, and at the end of the day, like, you guys said, it's a business. So, they're not bringing personal things into it. If you want to talk personal, I will say the Dez thing felt a little more personal. Like the way that it was handled felt a little different than the way that, the Cowboys have been handling these negotiations. Because again, there's obviously been some friction, some disagreements with Tank and with the Cowboys,
with his agent,
with his agent and stuff like that. But I don't think it reached, anything close to the level of craziness, at least in recent time, that the Dez thing caused. So in that sense, I don't think that this is going to be one of the things that makes the players doubt the organization or whatever, because this is more on the business side of things. I think that that's a little bit separate, but, DJ makes a great point, though. The ones that are out here, understanding the team's limitations too, like it's, we understand, get your money, but that when you're getting too much money, that means the person next to you, isn't eating the way you're eating, or again, is not playing to the level that you're playing at. So it's kind of, pick your poison there. Bringing up the offensive line is another good point. And, at 1980, again, just bringing up the passion that these guys, have to have for this game, the way that, it's really is on them, like the right type of guys will stay with this team, if the Cowboys make the right moves to get those guys. But at the same time, I can't sit here and expect a guy to just say, oh, I'm just going to take less money because I really like them. It's like, no one's really going to say that. Everyone's going to say, no, I know my skills. I want as much money as possible. They're not out there to like screw the team over, but I'm not going to sit here and take a pay cut just to make my boss feel better, and I'm not necessarily going to sit here and say, oh, I'm worth less because someone else is, might be worth more. It's, it's kind of a tricky thing there. So, I don't know. What do you think, baby?
All right.
Well, by the way, great question.
Yeah, it's a fantastic question, topic, and everything, and great answers and points of view from everybody right now. I'm trying to find things that haven't, kind of overlapped, but you guys are probably going to hate me on this one because, again, whether or not I believe Tank should get the money or not, he's going to get this money. And I don't know what this money is going to be yet. The number is not set, obviously, but it's somewhere between 20. Thank you, Ninja Nuts. Yes, I've seen him all over the place. Guys, he knows his stuff. So, anyways, so no,
you caught me off guard there.
I think Tank is going to get his money. It's $20 million is the base right now. It's not going to be 20.5. Let's be real. That's the base. That's what his franchise tag is if he plays this year, and there's no budging from that if he plays on that tag, and then he has surgery. We're screwed. So that's one issue. But then I think the Cowboys know they're going to sign him. We heard 22.5 million. That's where Tank's number is. You see the distance, about $2 million difference. They're going to drop. It's going to be around 21.5, I believe. And in the end, I'm talking about reality. Whether or not I agree those are the numbers that he should get or not, I believe that that's not the cusp. And only because of that's what, and again, I know you guys are going to hate me for this, but I think that's his market value. He's getting paid what he's supposed to get paid, even though it's different than Khalil Mack, different than Aaron Donald. And he also does different things as well that they don't do. So in my opinion, I think that 21-ish is a fair price. I think this is called negotiations. This is what it is. From Tank's side and in the media, and his rep, his agent, and also the Cowboys front office side and all of their reps. We can go through all the names: Stephen Jones, Jerry Jones, whoever.
But how do you think that's going to specifically affect like how the players feel about?
I agree.
That's kind of the key thing.
Right, and that's the thing that bothers me. The longer it goes on, the worse I believe it looks. But in the end, everybody will forget about it as soon as he signs. He signs, things like that. And then in the end, it's called. Listen, let's be real. Players are playing hardball. The owners play hardball. This is the way it is. This is business. Everybody's talking about it, business. Whether or not you cut him or take the tag away, whatever it is, it's business. But it's also business for Tank and trying to get his money, and it's negotiations also for Jerry Jones and trying to get try to lowball to it's business, and that's it. So what I'm trying to say is I'm not as worried in the sense of whether we'll get him or not. I think we can get him, Byron Jones, Jalen Smith, Cooper, Dak, Zeke, all these guys, and still have about $15 million left over with about, to fill up about 20 spots on our roster. I'm not saying we can't really go big time free agents. We don't do that. And you let someone like and we haven't really touched on Quinn yet, Robert Quinn from the Dolphins, that big trade. But when you look at that trade, we signed him. We get we're getting hit $8 million in the cap, maybe $9 million. And the Dolphins are paying the other $1 million. But the bigger thing is it's a 1-year deal. It's not a replacement for Tank. He's the player on the other side. He's a right defensive end. So he's a replacement for Gregory and for Taco, and the Dorrance Armstrong development. He's that guy. And the Tyrone Crawford, he plays first downs, but he's not a good rushing defensive end. So he's a good interior guy. So my point, at those situations. So my point is that with Tank and Quinn on the outside, I think that, that to me, next year we're going to probably get rid of Quinn and let him go and get probably a third or fourth conditional if he plays well enough this year. So anyways, that's kind of my thought on Tank. I think that we're going to get him. We're going to have a damn good defensive line, and we can afford all these guys, even with these high costs, because of the strategy they've been using this entire free agency and their plan. I think the last couple of years when it comes to the draft and building that way. So, I mean, that's just the reality of it. Whether he's worth it, I think 21 and a half. That's the cap for me. I wouldn't go any higher than that, but I have confidence I'm optimistic that's going to get done, and I'm just hoping it's sooner than later.
Absolutely. My Cowboys family, when you get him talking, he's talking about next topics, and
do not stop.
He just gets carried away. I had to wave him down. Wait a minute, it's not ready yet. But no, Byron Jones, Tank Lawrence, if they don't sign, hypothetically speaking, if they don't sign any of these players and let them watch a free agency, I mean, my Cowboys family brought up a good point of who needs to be signed. Zeke, Dak, Leighton, Jalen Smith, Amari Cooper, which I'm wearing his jersey today. Shout out to Amari Cooper. I think it might cause, some concern for, because I'm thinking like, okay, and fifth quarter Cowboys brought up a good point too. I mean, if you're not obviously doing your due diligence, then you're not going to get paid. But, you got guys like Jalen Smith, who is a household name at linebacker, and Ezekiel Elliott and Dak Prescott still has some minor things to tweak before I call him a franchise quarterback. But, if I was in that position looking at Tank and Byron Jones leaving, I'm like, holy crap, am I going to get paid? Do I got to move my family to a different town? I'm been making millions, but I got to take little Junior out of school. He's loving his teacher. She's fine too. I can't see her no more. You never know what could happen. But I think it does cause concern for guys that do make plays. Guys that are it's all about security. It's all about wanting to wear that star, and guys do like to wear that star and play for Cowboys. And before we move on to the biggest topic of the night, does anybody have anything to say? My Cowboys family, we'll start with you, Robert Quinn. Now we can talk about the Quinster. Take it away.
All right. So, I mean, I don't know. I guess we're gonna have to call our D line like the quintuplets or something, like something really lame like that, right? Just kidding. Obviously, really happy. I think that this is, other than Linehan, obviously that's a joke. Other than firing Scott Linehan, best offseason move. Just because again, it's
over Cobb, huh?
Over Cobb, just because again, honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't too worried about our receivers. Like receiver wise, there was a handful of receivers that could have done something similar to Cobb. Like I'm happy with Cobb, but there's other receivers similar to Cobb around that same price range that we could have. Yeah. So. But Robert Quinn, again, he, with all the craziness on our defensive line between Irving, between Gregory, between Taco, yes, even between Tank. I mean, it is like a weight off of the Cowboys' shoulders, I feel like. The fact that he allows us to use Crawford Where I think Crawford plays best, that makes me really happy because, again, Crawford is the guy who's been shuffled around our line so many times he doesn't know which way's up. I think keeping him in one spot is going to help him. I'm hoping that Robert Quinn, again, him along with Tank is obviously the goal, that, them combined at least will be a force to be reckoned with, and that teams will at least take an extra second. That's the point. Same way that teams had to kind of double Tank, even, DJ brought up a lot of good points before about some of his productions. And then, DCFN, of course, the fact he still has a significant number of sacks, like, even if he's getting them against scrubs, like, people are still looking at those numbers and saying, like, hey, Tank is producing here. We have to make sure we're on him. So hopefully Quinn takes a little pressure off of him, or vice versa. The point is that it's going to open it up for Quinn. If not, we're going to see Anton Woods in there. Oh my God, we just get to, I'm just saying, like, in the sense, obviously not at that position. I'm just saying, like, on the defensive line, we're going to be able to see all these guys. And the fact that we did sign him, for a pretty solid price, too, all things considered.
I mean, yeah.
All the stars kind of aligned there.
$8 million incentives up to $9 million on our cap side. Again, the Dolphins have to pay like $1 million or $1.2 million of some kind of signing bonus, I think. So all said and done, it's about $8 million probably. If he gets over 7 sacks, I think he gets another bump. It's a good 1-year rental. And the reason I say that is because if he goes into the team next year, has a productive year with the Cowboys, and we don't re-sign him, he goes into the team, depending on his production and what they pay him, we will then get a 3rd round pick in compensation, or a 4th round pick. We gave up a 6th round pick in 2020. We would get a 3rd or 4th round pick back in 2021. A 1-year rental, not hitting us hard in the cap. Again, if we sign Tank long term, we're going to get a little cushion on the cap there from Tank, whether it's $5 to $7 million. But when that's restructured, instead of the 20.5, will be less than that. So.
Oh, sorry, I forgot to add one thing that just made me realize. It also opens things up draft wise, just because, again, if we draft a defensive lineman, and let's say in the 3rd round, and we have him for this year, we can develop him for this year, it's not going to hurt us so bad if Quinn goes next year. Sorry.
Right. No, the last thing I'm going to say is that he's not good against the run. That's one of my biggest concerns with him. But, and it's a big but, no pun intended, Tyrone Crawford and his fighting ways, he's still a very good first down, run-stopping type of right defensive end. So I say whether it's him or Taco on first down, and then you bring in on the pass rushing plays, you bring in Robert Quinn. I don't care what number he is. He's number 94 in his whole career. I don't care what number he gets. I think he'll be doing damage with Tank in the backfield. But on rushing, I'd rather see him on rush downs, on passing downs and rushing the quarterback rather than trying to stop the run. He still could be disruptive, but he's nowhere near the difference maker. Yeah, he was number 1 in the NFL. I think 40% winning against pass rush in the NFL. Number 1, and Tank is number 4. We got 1 and 4 in the whole NFL. So I think that, and he's got an upgrade on the other side, on the left side, as far as he had Cameron, I forgot his name, but older guy from the Dolphins, and he was pretty good. He's pretty good out there, Cameron Wake, on the left side, but Tank is a lot better. So I don't know. To me, that's going to give you just better Robert Quinn and a better Tank and a better defense. So we'll see. I love the move.
Dallas Cowboy fan 1980. Robert Quinster. Let's hear your thinker.
Robert Quinn. Good addition, man. I'm glad we signed him. I think he's going to be a force on the end. He's a good edge rusher. Best season in 2013, he had a total of 19 sacks. This man has a total of 69 sacks in his career, over 255 tackles, combined tackles. And just 28 years old. He's been in the league since 2011, but he's still just 28 years old. So he started off pretty young. The Cowboys are trying to get guys on this team that are the key word is consistency. We got to get consistent, and it starts with the defensive line. Like totally, the defensive line is your first line of defense. If they play well, if they play dominant, if we can get if we can get D-Law, we got Woods in the middle. Man, we are going to have a good defensive line if we can get these guys back. What scares me, guys, is the rotation. Probably going to see a lot of rotation because guys are going to want to get in. Got Taco, got Crawford, Woods. Gregory, he probably gets suspended for 2 to 3, maybe 4 games, and he'll be back. So it's going to be a lot of alternating. That's what scares me, because when you alternate, you can't get familiar with the position. I know these guys have been playing for years and everything, so they probably are, obviously they're already familiar with the position. But when you're actually out there playing, it's a different story. Trust me, coming in and out, you just kind of getting in a rhythm, and you got to come out. That's the only thing that scares me about the situation. But overall, good smart pick by the Cowboys. Quinn is going to be a good addition to the pass rush. He's a good edge rusher. He doesn't give up on the play. I saw him in some highlights with a lot of strip sacks and things like that. He's not very good. He's okay, but he's not very good in run stopping. But that was a different scheme. You never know. He might be. Different coaches will make you better, you know. So that's to be determined. I think they'll turn that. Chris Richard and company will turn that around on the defensive side. I'm happy about it. I wish the season started tomorrow. I mean, I'm so sick of this free agent time. I think there should be a class, and I wanted to say this at the end of the free agent D-Law talk. I think there should be a class for all the players to see how it could be if you didn't make it to the NFL. To see how you could live if you didn't make it to the NFL. Because, see, all of us, we've been fans for years. And we're out here in the working world, working a normal middle-class 9-to-5 job. And we know how it is to get up and go to work in the morning and, just make ends meet. You get what I'm saying? They don't have to worry about that. And I think you get greedy at a certain point. See, these guys are young. We're talking about young, to me, young kids. These are young, they're in their early 20s. And you got kids with all this money. And they need agents and lawyers and stuff to kind of help them. But those agents and lawyers, they're money hungry too. And they want to take advantage of these kids with all this money. You get what I'm saying? So those are things that you got to have to kind of worry about in the NFL, because as much as you see these guys on TV, they look larger than life. You know, you want the autograph when you see them. You buy their jerseys and Dallas Cowboy stuff, and you're taking pictures with them and selfies and all that stuff. But these guys are young kids. They're young men, you know, and they haven't had the opportunity as far as being an adult in the working world like we are, you know, every day. They're straight from Pop Warner, junior high, high school, college, then boom, success, boom, millionaire. There's no preparation, you know, college, you know, okay, but as soon as they get boom, oh, I'm dropping out, I'm going, you know, a lot of players, they stay, that's good, and they get their education, that's good, but there's a lot of players that don't. I'm out of school, I'm done, you know, I'm going to the draft, see you, you know, I'm good. That's just the world we live in NFL right now. But, you know, back to I just had to get that out. But back to the Robert Quinn thing, I love the pick. If it's okay to say, you know, because a lot of people don't agree with each other, you know, but that's fine. Everybody's different. We can agree to disagree. Just because you're a Cowboy fan doesn't mean you're supposed to agree with everything another Cowboy fan is saying. It's a free country. This is America, you know, yada, yada, yada. But I think he's going to do just fine. With or without Tank. We need consistency on the defensive line. Pass rush has been a big flaw for us. It hasn't been consistent against good teams. It's been good against, like DJ brought up, you know, about a week ago. It's been good against, you know, okay teams, but against good teams, like we needed people in the playoffs, nowhere to be found, you know. So we need a consistent pass rush all the time. And I'm not saying the guys to go to Smallville and go find some, you know, go to Krypton and, you know, get some Superman powers or anything like that. But it just needs to be a little bit more consistent. And once we get that, it's a domino effect. The defense creates good opportunities for the linebackers. Then the linebackers create good opportunities for the secondary. It's a domino effect. They play well. They play well. They play well. You get what I'm saying? So that's all it is, man.
Hey, real quick, 1980, Winter Allen sent you something special. If you want to give her a big thank you, or him.
I'm sorry. I wasn't even paying attention. Oh, Winter, hey, thank you. She's been a fan of mine for a long time, guys. Diehard Cowboy fan. I really appreciate it, Winner. I thank you so much for the super chat.
All right. Fifth quarter Cowboys. Robert Quinn. Take it away.
Man, if getting a guy like Robert Quinn doesn't want to make D-Law go ahead and sign, then I don't know what to say, man. This right here should have been this should have been it for Tank, man. This should have been like, okay, now we talking. Because Robert Quinn, they're gonna help each other. Either he gonna get double or Tank gonna get double. This could possibly make Tank's stats go up. You know, this can go hand in hand with those two guys. You know, you would think this would go ahead and make the guy want to sign, but nonetheless, you know, Robert Quinn, man. I only remember him from his St. Louis days. I don't remember what he did in Miami. I think he was on there 1 year, I think. But early on in his career, that dude was a force, man. And I agree with my Cowboys family about the Tyrone Crawford with the run stop and let him come in there and, you know, do the pass rush thing. I 100% agree. That's what he's good at. That's his job. He's quick. You know, he know how to work his hands. He's damn good, and he's on the tougher side of the damn line. You know, he over there with he going against the best tackles. So you know, I'm excited about that dude. I'm serious, and I still want to see other guys get out there. You know, I still don't feel like we got that true one tech, but man, if you got Robert Quinn coming off one side, D-Law if he signed coming off the other side. Every now and then you blessing Jalen Smith. I don't. It's gonna be tough, man. It's gonna be real tough for a lot of teams to do anything. If Byron Jones and Cheeto do their job, we can be top 3 defense this year. Facts. We can be top 3 defense. You know, if we ever get this safety thing figured out. But I like X Woods. You know, but I'm definitely happy about this. I'm glad Jerry Jones did it. I can't agree. Nah. I know. My Cowboys fiance says it's a little better than the Randall Cobb. I don't know because I think the more weapons that got, the more points we'll be able to put up on the board, and then you can play the bend, but don't break defense and hold off, you know, the other team from scoring. So. I think another offensive weapon for Dak Prescott is a little bit more better than the Quinn move. But nonetheless, I love it. I love both moves. You know, the Robert Quinn move is just another force to be reckoned with on that side, man. You can't double everybody, man. So I hope it works out. I hope he get fully healthy because I know he's having issues, and we got some of the best doctors and the best trainers in the National Football League. So I hope they get him all ready and all that good shit, man. And I'm just excited to see what we're going to do this season, brother.
Absolutely. The Robert Quinn move here, guys. This right here, it's not about Tank Lawrence. It's not about anything else except the Dallas Cowboys wanting to win and wanting to win now. This was a great pickup. It was a smart pickup. 6th round, 2020. Holy crap, guys. Cheap. $8 million. He was supposed to make 11.1 under that Dolphins contract. Obviously, you trade him, you got to restructure. He agreed to $8 million plus incentives. This is a win now move. This was a smart move, and everything the Dallas Cowboys have done this offseason, including Robert Quinn, is a grade A plus for me, in my opinion. I mean, if you look at it, you know, okay, you lose Beasley, you get a guy like Randall Cobb, who has been injured, but when healthy, the talent is there. Then, you know, they want to address this safety need, but they're still going to address that safety need in the draft. George Iloka just brings a little element to it, but like I said earlier last week, Jeff Heath's going to beat him. So just all around, this is hey, it's time to win. Jerry Jones even said it himself, I might not be on this earth much longer. It's time for us to win now. I want to see a Lombardi, and, you know, and Stephen Jones said, we're at an impasse with Tank Lawrence's contract. When the Robert Quinn thing went on, he said on DallasCowboys.com, we got it. We're excited about it. We're still motivated. We're still working numbers. So they want to get Tank done. They get Robert Quinn. You got the two fastest linebackers in the National Football League. This defense right here will be the number one defense in the National Football League. Last year I said top 5. Boy, did I meet expectations. This year I'm saying the number one defense in the National Football League.
Ooh.
Fifth Quarter Cowboys. Where can they find you?
Fifth Quarter Cowboys on YouTube. And appreciate everybody tuning in to another episode, another great show of the Roundtable, man. Shout out to everybody on here. And I'm out.
My Cowboys family.
All right, guys. Well, you can find us right here at My Cowboys Family. We're live every day, news info updates on the Dallas Cowboys. Of course, our thoughts and opinions, your thoughts and opinions. But don't forget the number one thing, the reason why we do what we do.
Number one, guys, always, forever, star over everything, guys. Number one, always on My Cowboys Family, daily. Remember, never forget. Go Cowboys, baby! Woo! Let's go! I want the season to start now, right now.
Yesterday.
All right. And again, thank you guys for everybody on this panel. Fifth Quarter Cowboys, My Cowboys family, Dallas Cowboy fan 1980. Guys, if you are subscribed and if you just dropping in to 1980's channel, My Cowboys family's channel, and you ain't subscribed, what you're doing, what you're thinking there. All you gotta do is click a button, hit the bell, and you'll be able to tell this is the best content on YouTube when it comes to the Dallas Cowboys. I'm Dallas Cowboy Football News. You can find me on Facebook, YouTube, DCFN News 1 on Twitter. And if you're man enough to talk X's and O's, slide on my DMs like a hoe. Dallas Cowboy fan 1980. Talk to your people.
I just felt the power. My bad. Guys, great show. Man, I have to take time out of my day to do this with these guys, man. Great minds. Fifth Quarter, Football News, Cowboys family. These guys are one of a kind. I mean, I couldn't do it better with anybody else. I want to thank you guys for having me, letting me host Football News. Thank you for having that perfect radio voice to take over the show. Once again, this Cowboy offseason has been really interesting. It's been a roller coaster. This time we weren't asleep. Every offseason we're asleep. Cowboys are asleep. They wait till the last minute to do things. Kind of what we did this year. We really made some things happen, hopefully some good things. And guys, we're Cowboy fans, just like you are out there. Nothing more, nothing less. What we say isn't in the Bible. What we say isn't set in stone. It's all opinion. And that's where it should stay. It shouldn't get personal. You shouldn't want to go and shoot anybody, blow up anybody's house, get into a fight with somebody, get into an internet war with somebody. It shouldn't go that far. Everybody's human beings. Everybody's grown, got kids, families, wives, husbands, etc. We all work hard for a living, and we all try to support our team throughout our normal, everyday, middle class lives. And that's just what we do. This is something that we love doing. We take time out of our day to do it. And we thank and appreciate every one of you guys for jumping on the mothership of Jabroni Productions. And make sure you subscribe to these guys, man. I'm going to say it again. Fifth Quarter Cowboys, Dallas Cowboy Football News, My Cowboys family. And then we had some Cowboy fans and YouTubers in the chat as well. Boys for Life, South of Heaven 88, Cowboys Abroad, guys like that. My Cowboys Face. Make sure y'all subscribe, man, because we all got good points, good, bad points. We agree to disagree. It doesn't matter. After we disagree, if we do disagree, we're friends right after that. There's no beef. There's no animosity. Everybody's not going to think alike. Everybody's not going to say the same thing. We all have different opinions. And that's what makes this channel and our channels grow and be successful, because of our opinions on the Cowboys. We're not out there playing. They are. So if there's a mistake out there on the field, don't get mad at us. Get mad at them. Go knock on their doors and curse them out and beat them up and do drive-by shootings on them. But that's all I got, man. So make sure y'all tune in to everybody's channel where your opinion matters. Your opinion does matter on these channels right here. And make sure you stay cowboyed up and prayed up because you never know what the day is going to bring you. Holla back. We out.